Alright guys, I'm making this little video to show you how to make the Footmen for the wheel and the DriveBand for the wheel, for the Dodec spinning wheel. I did want to take the time to show that a lot of people are wanting to improvise this shaker peg so that they don't have to find one in their local craft store. What you got to keep in mind is you don't want it coming any further out from the wheel than you possibly have to. This one only comes out 3/4 of an inch, which is perfect. What you want it to do is you want the rope that you're using for the Footman to clear the front of that nut. You don't want the nut coming out any further than the head sticking out the front of the spoke. But the rope that goes on this, you want coming out far enough that it goes in front of that nut as this rotates, but then no further than that if you can possibly manage it, because a lot of the issues you'll have with spinning the wheel will come from using a peg larger than this 3/4 inch shaker peg. So anyways, we're going to start with the Footman. I'm cutting a piece of string long enough to double over and use for this. I'm going to use a granny knot, and a granny knot is where if you take your right hand and you pass that string over the string coming from the left hand. Now, even though that end has changed hands, it's also the one that you want to pass over top coming back the other way. If you do that both, what you end up with are two loops interlocked, and that is a square knot. The reason we use a square knot is because when we go to untie it and tie it again, it's very easy. You don't have to get in here with your fingernails and try to pull it apart. All you have to do is take both of the strings on the right side, if you want, pull them apart from each other, and it will straighten that out, and you can slide the other end right off of it, and you're ready to retie. So if you need to go longer or go shorter, you can just pull the knot apart and retie it. But while it's tied, it won't come apart on its own. So that's a square knot. I'm going to double this over for use with the pedal, and then I'm going to take a twist tie and bend it in half over it, just to stick it through this part of the pedal, and then back through this hole on the pedal. And then what I do is I pull the string through itself, and that's how we hook it to the pedal. And then I pull those two loops up and hook it on the shaker peg through the wheel, and that's it. That's how your Footman is hooked to the wheel. Now we're going to go on to the DriveBand, and the DriveBand's a little more straightforward. Of course, you need a much longer piece of string for the DriveBand, but again, you're going to want to use a square knot so that if you get it on there and you see that it's too tight, you can undo it and then retie it. Now, I know kind of what length this has to be, but I'm tying mine too tight right now, and I'll show you why. I go ahead and double this over. I slip it on top, and I run it around the spindle as I'm getting it on. But the wheel does not move freely if the DriveBand is tight. It won't go all the way around and stuff. Anyways, if you just pull the DriveBand off, you take this knot, and like I mentioned, you take two strings from the same side, pull them straight, then the rest of the knot will slip off of it. Then I'm going to tie this DriveBand a lot looser than I had it, when I get it tied looser, I go ahead and put it back on the wheel. And this time, even though there is a lot of play in this line, you can see how much play there is. It's ridiculous. Even though there's a lot of play in this line, it will not have any problem at all driving that spindle, as you see. It's fine because there are angles on the wheel. And you'll also see that I don't have any problem with the DriveBand actually getting stuck in the wedges that the wheel's made out of. It all works together nicely, but you got to keep that DriveBand loose. And again, it's easy enough to loosen it or tighten it, because you can pull that knot apart and retie. Well, I hope that answers some questions, and if you have any other questions, just hit me in the thread, ask me anything. Thanks.